Hello everyone. Myself Nishtha Desai, and my today's presentation topic is Big Brother in the Digital Age: Surveillance and Thought Control in Orwell's 1984 and the Contemporary Society. So these are my academic information. These are table of contents. My research question is: to what extent do modern digital surveillance and thought control resemble the mechanism of control depicted in Orwell's 1984, and in what ways has reality surpassed his predictions? And hypothesis is the increasing use of mass surveillance, AI-driven censorship, and social media manipulation in modern society mirrors the authoritarian control mechanism depicted in George Orwell's novel 1984, leading to gradual erosion of individual privacy and freedom of thought. Let's begin with introduction. We know that in novel 1984, George Orwell used totalitarianism, thought control, newspeak, and thought manipulation and reality distortion. So, in the digital age, we can also notice that governments and corporation use facial recognition, data tracking, and AI to monitor individuals and shape public perception. From that, sometimes misinformation also we can notice in that concept. So my question is: are we are heading toward an Orwellian future or not? So first is surveillance in the 1984. Surveillance means someone spying you or monitor you. So in the novel also we can find that surveillance like telescreens, thought police, Big Brother, and children are as surveillance. So telescreen in the novel and in the movie screening also we can find that there are telescreening everywhere, home and any another areas in the companies, roads, and everywhere there are telescreen, and they spying public. And thought police in the novel we can also find that there are four ministries, and if any person thought beyond the dictionary of that country or ministry, it can be thought it can be it can be not perfect Big Brother. The party omnipresent figure reinforce constant surveillance with the slogan. Every time they are said that Big Brother is watching you, Big Brother is watching you, and police also control that, and they said that it is a crime. And children as informants, we can also notice that it in the Parsons case in the novel. Parsons' daughter said his information about the ministry, that Parson is against the ministry. So it also the how the children also trained by the ministry people, and how they are also spying everything. So surveillance in the digital age. Now we are aware that CCTV cameras is everywhere. So we can find that it also constantly we have in our mind someone is watching us. CCTV cameras are also surveillance. Then facial recognition. AI-driven identification improves the security but enables mass surveillance and tracking. Then GPS tracking also, smartphone, vehicles, and devices track location, aiding navigation but allowing movement monitoring. Then online data collection. Now websites also have data how what we search in Google and in any apps. So it also we can say that online data collection. Then methods of thought control in the novel 1984. So first is a newspeak. It simplifies language to limit independent thought, ensuring people cannot even express rebellion. So newspeak, any person not can rebel from the big brother and his thoughts. The double thing. So they use some slogans for double thing like war is peace, then slavery is a strength, and memory hole. The Ministry of Truth. If they don't like any history and any news, so they burn it. We know that Winston also working in the Ministry of Truth. So the news are also controlled by there. So it and if any news they don't want to share with people, so they burn it. And so it's known as a memory hole. Then thought crime and thought police also, we can say that they every time they said big brother is watching you, you must love big brother. In Winston's case also we can find Winston did the thought crime and how he tried in the room 101. Then thought control in today's words. Fake news and disinformation. Sir many times mentioned that WhatsApp University. So at that time we can know that how the fake news also we also drive by sometimes that fake news. And censorship, sometimes that happen if one person try to rebel, so how the authority censor his channel, and all those things, how their mouth be shut by the authority. And mass surveillance. Governments and corporations monitor online activities, collecting data to track behaviors, predict action, and subtly influence decision making, reducing personal privacy. And in language manipulation. So, political correctness and controlled vocabulary reshape how issues are discussed, limiting expression and framing conversation in ways aligned with prevailing ideologies, much like a newspeak in the 1984. And emotional manipulation. So, media and political forces to use fear to the people, country people, and outrage and division to influence public sentiment, ensuring compliance by creating a sense of crisis or hostility toward the opposite views. And so the question is Orwell's 1984 is become a reality? So I want, from my perspective, I want to say that in some ways is Orwellian's 1984 is becoming reality, but it not fully becoming like Orwell's 1984, because we have thought freedom also. In 1984 there are not thought freedom, and so in now we have a thought freedom. But and also some privacy laws in Europe, like GDPR limits data collection. Then Snowden also noticed that the spying people, data spying people, and in they also told us the spying data collection. So we can say that now Orwellian society is but not fully Orwellian society in contemporary times. So conclusion: Orwell's 1984 warns of surveillance, censorship, and thought control, and elements of it exist today. So mass surveillance, information control, and historical revision shape public perception, with governments and the companies tracking activities and controlling narratives. However, legal protections, free speech movement, and democratic institutions push back against total control. Privacy laws Whistleblower revelation highlighting ongoing resistance. But AI, social media, and digital tracking still raise concern about the manipulation. Unlike Orwell's dystopia, people can still question, resist, and demand transparency. The future depends on how societies balance security and freedom, ensuring truth and independence through the prism. These are my references, and thank you. If anyone have question, please ask.
For you is, can mass surveillance ever be justified, or is it just inherently Orwellian?
Yes, Smruti. Mass surveillance is not fully justified. It also help us self. It also save us from crime and all time. But when it shut people's mouth and social control, at that time, mass surveillance become not fully justified.
Question for you. How does today's disinformation compare to Orwell's concept of historical revisionism?
Yes, Krishna. In Orwell's 1984, we also familiar with that. Any news they can't want to publish, and they forget, so they burn it. Like in the Winston also work in Ministry of Truth, so we can notice that, and it compares in the today's we can say that sometimes we can also familiar with some disinformation, and when the authority don't want to we can say that in a few days ago we also noticed that in the both newspaper, sir also mentioned how the comparison of two news that can't want to share it, some positive wise on the heading, and the true and importance are in the bottom. So we can say that they disinform, and they don't want to show how the reality is. Thank you.